Folks on that side of the camera, y'all have
Yeah,
your opinion.
all they care about is she was caught.
Right.
She's suspended. Women's MMA. Who knows where it goes.
It's just something that it's gonna end up being a fucking problem if they don't fix it. You know, I don't give a shit because I say let them get all jacked up and kill each other. Fight them.
You know, it doesn't matter to me if all of them take it.
Why don't you just give them a sword?
Yeah. Anyway, NFL.
I said that for you and the rest of the black people watch this.
Yeah. George got it down, man. All the brother sayings. Anyway,
oh shit.
We just Texans?
Fucking football, man. Just
football, man. We're happy as shit, man.
Playoff football.
Yeah, national championship on Monday, playoff football.
2 exciting games today. The first one was the Houston Texans. They were
Andy Dalton tried real hard.
He did, man. The Cincinnati
and
Bengals.
Then that defensive end jumped up in the air, snagged the ball, and said, "Game over, bitch."
Wow, man.
That was an impressive play. Sure.
That was nothing Andy Dalton could do about that.
That was one of the most impressive athletic things I've ever seen.
Now, you know what the crazy thing about that is? That is, you know, sometimes during the course of a football game, there's a changing moment, and that was it.
Oh, yeah.
That reminded me of when the Redskins were playing the Raiders. I'm just going to take it way back.
1948.
And the Redskins were playing the Raiders in the Super Bowl.
Missed that game.
And basically, right before halftime, Theismann throws an interception.
Isn't it Theismann?
Theismann. His original name was Theismann, for all you people don't know. He changed it when he was up for the Heisman to Theismann. Pretty fucked up. Anyway, and throws an interception. The Raiders going for a touchdown. That's how they go into halftime. It was a wrap after that. Same thing happened here. This guy picks it off, runs it in, and now all the momentum has switched to a very close game that had been 2 quarters of football that was basically locked up. And now
all the Ravens fans have got to be elated.
Right.
Because you get to play at home where you went undefeated this year. You get to come in with a team that's obviously hobbled because they have their 18th quarterback in. They had 4 quarterbacks around that dude. They had Jeff Garcia, Jake Delhomme, and I'm talking about T.J. Yates. They had a picture of T.J. Yates on the bench. It was Jake Delhomme, Jeff Garcia, Matt Leinart, and Schaub.
Yeah.
We're all around them.
Now, and on top of that, the Ravens are nasty against the run.
And they're even nastier at home.
Yeah, at home, I don't think they lost.
No, they were undefeated at home. They were undefeated at home and split on the road. The Bama's won 12 games. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see, it's going to force Yates to have to throw the ball. I mean, because Foster, and they're going to tee off on Foster and Tate all day long.
Here's my problem. How is T.J. Yates going to make any completions laying on his back?
It's hard to throw from your back.
Terrell Suggs
Have you ever tried throwing from your back?
Depends what I'm throwing.
Horseshoes.
No.
Yeah, not good.
Ding-a-ling? Yes.
No.
Yeah, sure. Sit that mug full staff like an army tank. Go to town.
Wow.
Dirty. Uncut porn here.
Now, on to the other playoff game, which I wanted in my gut the Saints to lose. And I'm like, cool, looking at the score at the half. And then Drew Brees was like, oh, okay, I'm going to wake up now. And blew the fucking doors off. It's Detroit. Okay. All of you take a deep breath and just bear with me. The team that I would like to see play the Saints tomorrow, or would have played instead of the Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles. And the only reason I say that is because of the secondary. Because it's showing you right now to play against the Packers and the Saints, your nickel corner and your safeties better be able to cover. And I think the Eagles can do it.
And you got to have in the bottom. The thing with the Saints, man, is that they have so many weapons. I mean,
and now they have a running game.
Yeah, your linebackers have to go. You got to be able to cover Graham. You got to be able to cover Sproles out of the backfield. You got to have nasty covering linebackers.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is not a person in the NFL who could cover Graham or Gronkowski or Aaron Hernandez. No, those 3 dudes are causing the biggest matchup problems right now. They're too big and fast for linebackers. They're too big for corners, and they'll destroy your safeties. Yeah. So
and then the next thing you know, you're sitting there focused on them fucking jumping up in the air. All of a sudden, fucking Sproles flies by you like a little cricket. Pew!
Yeah.
Oh, man,
the Saints.
That was a Reggie Bush upgrade right there, boy.
We were watching the game, and all of a sudden, you guys were kind of sleeping on it for a second. I said, damn, Sproles is fast as shit. And the next handoff, he was at the 20 and in the end zone.
Yeah, he was gone.
Like,
now, let's touch. Do the Texans stand a chance coming into Baltimore? Can they win? Like, seriously.
They stand a
honestly,
chance.
Everybody,
because
everybody stands a chance. But I honestly don't see this game being very close. I mean, I think Baltimore's going to come out. I think they're going to, hit them early, and I think it's going to be over.
I think it'll be a close game.
The first time around with Schaub, they beat them 29-14.
Yeah,
that was with Matt Schaub.
I don't think it's because I think they're just going to play for that. Like George said, they're going to get upfield. They're going to play for the run and make Yates potentially beat them. And
where did they play the first time in Baltimore?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter, I guess. Huh?
I mean, if they beat them on the road, cool. Is one of their 4 road wins. If they played them at home, they beat them. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
Can the Texans win? Yeah, on paper they can win. Andre Johnson's back. Arian Foster's there. But T.J. Yates hasn't played against Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a good
Matt
point.
Schaub's seen Baltimore, but T.J. Yates hasn't. And how do you? And they don't have the defense to give T.J. Yates the looks that he'll see.
No, I mean it's
it's a tall order.
Yeah, but could it be done? Yeah,
it could be done.
If Flacco throws picks or if Ray Rice fumbles.
Well, the funny thing is that Baltimore on the road has looked shitty, but the thing is they're at home. I mean, if they had some of those losses at home like they had on the road, which it's odd to me. You know what I'm saying? They're so fucking good at home.
Well, they split on the road. They went 4-4.
I mean,
right.
So they're not.
But they
terrible.
had some ugly losses on the road.
I'll
to
be honest
Seattle,
with you.
they lost.
I think they sometimes played down to the level of their opponent.
Yeah,
they
could
seem disinterested at times.
I mean, I think that they'll be at least a touchdown favorite. Baltimore, that is.
Right.
At least a touchdown. Favorite.
I would imagine it's going to start off at 6, just because Baltimore has problems scoring points.
Right. Well, now let's move on to.
But the Saints have to go to. That's what I want to talk about the next game.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints are heading into San Francisco.
Right.
Ooh. That's
a bully defense, and
hey, this is the thing, man. I've been super high. You guys were talking about it. You guys, you got fucking Brees, but Drew Brees has been phenomenal.
That's
this
your
year.
MVP this
He's
year.
Single-handedly won almost both fantasy leagues. He wanted me both of my fantasy leagues, but yeah. And he basically today, if you take away those 2 fumbles, the one where he got sacked and the other one, he would have scored on every possession. Right. Their fucking offense is crazy. With all that being said, I don't think they're going to be San Francisco.
Really? See, I mean, I think they're playing in a great rhythm right now, and I truly think they are going to beat San Francisco.
It would be great to see, but I tell you what, San Francisco has the team. They have all the things that give the fucking Saints fits. Okay, they have just Sproles to run, because their other backs are hurt, okay? They're going to have to run to maintain the tempo against the 49ers. They're going to be playing outside in weather. San Francisco has a great secondary, and San Francisco can also control the tempo of the game with their run game, because they have a fucking good – and we both know that the Saints have no defense. You got the 49ers on the other side of the ball, and they're fucking just running on you and going down the field and having 6-7 minute drives.
Yeah, they're going to control the clock.
They
hand
control
the ball
the clock.
to Frank Gore. Ask Smith to make short passes, smart passes. Alex Smith is in this. Alex Smith has looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree if they can limit, if the 49ers don't turn the ball over at all.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think they will definitely win the game. I think, if you give the Saints a couple shots, I don't know. I just think they're playing well right now. I think they're in rhythm, and Brees is hitting on all cylinders.
The best way to beat Brees is keep him off the field.
Yeah,
you want to beat Drew Brees? Don't let him have the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to control the clock
and play the field position game.
If he gets the ball, you almost guarantee they're going to score. Almost guarantee.
Now, what do you guys think about the owner basically of the Colts? Basically,
the Colts ain't playing games. They're like, we're drafting Luck.
Yeah.
Manning, suck it up.
You know what? And
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him, because you look at it. It's like
Andrew Luck won games with not one single wide receiver or tight end who will play at the next level.
Right.
Not one. He has no big weapons, and he won games. And yes, I banged on Luck for not doing well against Oregon.
Right.
And you know what? I'm right. But on fucking reanalyzing and relooking at Luck after watching him play in that bowl game,
right,
dude, he's doing it with fucking smoke and mirrors. Because to be honest, his skill position players around him are not good.
Yeah. And to me, I agree. Even outside of that, Peyton Manning's a great player, but at most, he's got a couple of years left.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Most.
The owner, Irsay, came straight out and said, Irsay basically
Why would
said,
I pass on this opportunity?
I can't. 30 years ago almost, okay, he went to draft Elway. They drafted Elway, and his dad, who was the owner at the time, gave up Elway, and you saw what happened. He went to the Broncos, and what happened there? The guy had a phenomenal career, okay? 98, 15 years later, they get an opportunity to draft somebody. Right. They draft Peyton Manning. Okay, now it's 14 years later. They take Manning. Now it's 14 years later. They're having the same type of quarterback that you saw in Elway and Manning in college, and he's like, you know what? This is going to be my quarterback for the next 14 to 15 years. Now, I don't blame him for doing it.
Here's the question.
Okay.
Do you keep Peyton Manning? And the reason I say that is because if you do, after you sign Andrew Luck, you have $72 million next year locked up between Manning and Luck. Here's just me. Let me play GM for a second.
Okay.
I take Peyton Manning. Boop, boop, beep, beep, bop, beep, boop. Hey, Danny Snyder, here what's going to happen. We owe Peyton
do
Manning 24 minutes. Somebody who
not Snyder, not with
that line.
Allen, not with the new GM. No way. Now,
Chicago.
if you had fucking Vinny Serrato, get him, grab him up right now.
Well, here's the thing.
Fucking coked up.
Wow.
What do you think the Colts?
That 8-ball.
Yeah.
What do you think the Colts could get for Peyton Manning? Because to me, there's no point. If you're drafting Andrew Luck, you put him in.
Well, to
put
me,
him in.
And I think we've talked about this before. It's the situation that sets up for him is a team that needs that quarterback that's ready-made to really go to the step into the Super Bowl or step up to that level. And
if you got a good coach down in Miami and got him playing in Miami where he faces some of the similar opponents.
But you don't trade him inside the same conference.
Right. Well, it depends what you're getting.
Right. Yeah.
I'm calling Chicago.
What about Chicago? Yeah.
I'm calling.
What would be interesting, and I mean,
Seattle.
And I mean, I'm not even a fan of them, but which I said before when you brought it up, I think you plug him into the Cowboys.
Ooh.
I mean,
that could be
Jerry Jones.
Des Bryant.
I mean, I know he likes Tony Romo, but man, he's got to be creaming his pants thinking about potentially.
But I tell you one thing I will say about Tony Romo, as opposed to obviously Peyton Manning is a far better quarterback, but Tony Romo. Sometimes I think when you look, as much as I dislike the Dallas Cowboys, he gets him out of a lot. He gets him in shit, but he gets him out of a lot of shit too. Because sometimes that pocket collapses.
You know what he gets him out of real well? The playoffs.
Well, hold on, just real quick. What about San Francisco?
Yeah, that's what I said before. Even with Alex Smith.
I mean, Alex Smith is serviceable at best.
Yeah.
You plug Peyton Manning into that team?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To me, if I'm the Colts, I don't hold on to both. It's just I'm not.
Oh,
dude,
no.
that's $72 million next year just for 2 players.
What about the Broncos?
Well, and here's the other thing. Even if you held on to them both, what are you going to set Andrew Luck down for 2 or 3 years?
I'm not.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Now just put Andrew. They didn't with Peyton.
Yeah, I mean,
Peyton Manning went 1-15 his first year in the league?
There's not room for them on the same team. The only way that would be is if it was truly Peyton Manning's last year.
Yeah,
and you know what? If I bring Peyton in and like, we're doing this for your health. This is our If I were you, I'd retire. We're going to give you the option. You can retire, or we're going to trade you.
Yeah,
and then I'd leave it up to Peyton, and I'd give him 1 week.
Yeah. That's a good point, Now, moving on to the NBA. We're just going to go really quick through some of the things. First of all,
they're playing?
They're playing, man.
How about them Wizards?
The Wizards, the Washington Wizards. We're going to get to that, man. We're going to talk about the most impressive team so far.
Oh, the Wizards.
It's impressive how bad they are.
They are impressively
fucked up. Let me
up.
tell you, I think some college teams could, Syracuse, North Carolina, I think they could give them a run for the money.
It's pretty sad, man. I mean,
who's the team who plays out of Miami?
The Heat.
Yeah, them Bama's
the Heat.
Nasty.
If you look at the most impressive team so far, in my opinion,
squad.
I got to go with the Heat, the Bulls, and the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers really impressed me because they lost Brandon Roy.
And Aldridge and Wallace have been like,
those motherfuckers are crazy. They played the Lakers the other night, and I'm like, wow, the Lakers look old.
What is Greg Oden doing?
Wow.
Do you know they re-signed that Bama, and you know how much money he's getting? Yeah, they re-signed him for 1 year. $8 million. He got the Kwame Brown money. That Bama has played 13 and 3.5 minutes.
That mug is the opposite of Benjamin Button.
Oh my God, he was so old, dude.
Now Rose for Chicago. I mean, Chicago looks great. Rose is doing it all in Chicago. He's distributing the ball. He looks great. I mean, and the thing that's impressive about Chicago is that they're closing out games fucking good. The Bulls are really having the ability to close out games.
They're a good team. I mean,
they
were good last year, and I mean, they're playing even better now. I mean, they got a lot of guys on that team that are still either in the prime of their careers or young guys. I mean, it's a good team.
Yeah, and in the Heat, like we said, LeBron is looking good. But the thing that's been really impressive about the Heat, everybody figured LeBron would be playing good, but it's Norris Cole, man. It's point guard. This kid is balling. I'm like, where the fuck did he come from? I don't really care that much about the Heat. George likes the Heat because he likes LeBron. But this kid Norris Cole looks impressive.
He's filling his role. I mean, they got the superstars on the team. It's just about getting the ball.
It's kind of like Rajon Rondo when he went to the Celtics.
Exactly.
Now let's switch it over to the
AARP squad.
Yeah,
if I'm Rajon,
500.
I can tell you right now, if I'm Rajon Rondo, I'm be like, look, it's time to go.
You could have had a chance.
You should have got.
That's the all Medicare team right there.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Now, most disappointing team so far in the NBA season.
Button medical alert. Help! Falling and I can't get up.
But Ray Allen is still
life alert.
He you know what? That guy, his game is just like he doesn't go to the hoop. He just hits it from the out. He's just 3-pointers from the outside.
Garnett got the beat us.
Yeah.
Fucking Paul Pierce just now getting healthy. Probably got toe issues.
Ugh.
They're so old.
Yeah, they're getting old.
Look, I'm not. And just fucking relax. It's the truth.
Yeah. Now, the most disappointing team so far, like we said, the Wizards.
What? There's nothing. You will not talk about my home. Fuck you. You suck.
Wizards are terrible. The
Wizards
Bucks are
are-
0-7, man.
Dude, do you see who the captain of their team is? Blatch. Blatch is their captain.
Well, I mean, in reality, he's really
Man.
the only player they. I mean, they have John Wall and they have
John-
Blatch.
who?
That's it.
Yeah.
John disappearing wall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just.
I'm
now,
like-
the Nets.
The what?
Wow.
The Nets were supposed to have some life with Deron Williams. They have no defense. They've showed no defensive schemes. I mean, they're just rotten.
I'm going to tell you what. I feel.
What's up with the Nets?
I feel truly bad for Chris Humphries. That dude got a raw deal.
You think so?
Because you know what? I looked at his stats. Last year, he was 4th in the NBA in rebounding.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, in minutes, and even what even makes it better is, I mean,
Oh,
in,
right.
in his
I think
minutes,
he's second
I mean,
in
it
scoring
was-
on the Nets this year, isn't he?
Dude, Chris Humphries ain't that bad.
No, he's not that bad.
He's good at what he does.
He's a
Defensively,
cuckold.
Rebounding.
Wow. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies. I think everybody. I just went right to the Memphis Grizzlies because, see, George.
He had a Bernie Fine
He
moment.
throws that cut hole shit in here, and he knows how I feel about it, man. Like, I
Kevin's
just, you know
blood
what I'm saying?
pressure's going
I
up.
just,
Kevin,
I do. Huh?
Come on, let's come,
You want
let's
to
come
wait?
back
Wait,
down.
wait. Let's
Huh?
be serious. You want to know why Kevin gets upset about the cuckold thing? Because he's never been in the cuckold situation. He's been the man banging the chick while the
While the guy was
cuckold
filming.
watches.
Yeah, or filming.
That's why Kevin's blood pressure gets up because he gets nervous. He's constant. You know, he's in there giving it a business and looking over, and this dude's staring at him. He's like, "What, man? What am I doing it like you can?
You paying me to do this shit?
Yeah, that's
Jumps
why
in
his
and
blood
out of the
pressure gets
closet.
up.
Yeah, you know. Now,
The
the Memphis
closet.
Grizzlies, speaking of, yeah, you know, they're looking sluggish. They are. And now Zach Randolph is fucked up.
They need them blue diamonds.
They just they need something.
That's
Pick
the
up your
Celtics,
pace.
man.
They just Zach Randolph's out. Now, everybody, I know there's some Grizzly fans out there that are going to get
There
butthurt
are,
about this.
what, 2?
I don't know. We did have a couple people that watched us that are Grizzly fans. I don't know what to tell you guys, but you guys have had a sluggish start. Zach Randolph is fucked up out for 6 to 8 weeks, and it's a short season. So guess what?
Here's a little known fact about Zach Randolph. When he was a senior in high school,
sir.
he might
yeah.
just could have been arrested or accused of selling guns out of his high school locker that were stolen from the local armory. Now
That's
he
a
didn't
good
know.
business
He
it
didn't
sounds
know.
like.
He didn't know how the guns.
Sons of-
He didn't know how the guns got into his
Sons
locker.
of Anarchy.
But somehow somebody in the school had managed to get guns out of the armory and into his locker, and were selling them out of his locker.
Oh my
Just
God!
saying, little known fact.
You know,
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do to get the little cash.
That's right.
That's why he went from Indiana to the NBA.
That's right. Now the Dallas Mavericks. What's
The
your
what?
feelings on that?
Wow.
I'm feeling that.
I can't say much about what
I'm feeling Lamar Odom probably should have not been so fucking sensitive
Oh.
about being traded, and he might still be in LA where his
Right.
shit didn't suck.
Yep. Now we're going to get to that point too.
Because that's part of business. And I
Yeah.
made that comment the first time we dealt
Yeah.
with this, and I understand it's the Lakers,
Yeah.
but there's a business aspect to
It
sports.
is.
And I understand that you feel the team, you know what, I bet he would give up one of his pinky toes to come back.
yeah.
And be a Laker.
His
And I'm sure his wife would too.
his PER, if you
Try
guys
to
do
take a
not
donut
know what
from them.
PER is
No joke.
player efficiency ratio, is terrible. this
How
year.
about the wife efficiency ratio at Dunkin' Donuts?
Dunkin' Donuts is happy with it because their stock is like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop banging on her.
Yeah, I know.
She's cool.
She's
She's one of
actually
the
a really
few
sweet girl.
Kardashians I actually find like
She is
sensible.
actually a sweet girl. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now, the most impressive players, in my opinion, definitely LeBron. We all expected it, and I know what the fuck. Wow.
Kevin's over here just throwing
I'm
out like,
trying-
like he knows the person.
I'm just-
Oh, you know, yeah, she's a really sweet girl. You know, she was over here 3 nights ago, but you know,
Yeah, I don't know. But the most impressive player so far in the NBA season of Andrew Bynum and
yeah.
LeBron James.
Dude, Bynum's putting up some big numbers.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically.
he's getting, you know, he's finally playing with some toughness.
He's playing with some toughness. He's actually the second go-to guy behind Kobe now for score, and they're trying to keep him in that role because they're saying he's more aggressive at scoring.
You know what? It might be the head coaching change
Yeah.
because, like, you and I had a conversation about the way Phil Jackson went about motivating people, and it just. He's old, shit's outdated. It's time for an upgrade, and maybe
Yeah.
Mike Brown or Brown. Was it Mike Brown?
Yeah, it
Fuck's
is
his
Mike
name?
Brown.
I just remember him losing in the playoffs in Cleveland because he's rotten, and that's why Brown left because you stink.
Well, they also had
Good
Mike
luck with that.
Williams who disappeared.
Who?
Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mo definitely won't show up, Williams.
Wow.
Mo definitely going to be on the bench during the playoffs, Williams. What, should I say something else? I got some Mo for Mo. Shit, that motherfucker was terrible, son, during the playoffs.
Anyway, Bynum's putting up big numbers. I think it has to do with the change. I don't think I have a feeling Phil Jackson rode his ass and just made it really tough for him. And it seems like this new system's working for Bynum.
In a shortened season, to come up and almost averaging double-doubles, I mean, basically getting double-doubles in almost every one of his games. He's looking good. Now, the most disappointing player.
Fucking DeMarcus Cousins got juice. No, what I'm saying is the dude.
What?
He got juice. He got power. He's the man out there. He got his damn head coach fired.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and now this is what I was going to say. DeMarcus Cousins was looking.
He's been demanding a trade since the beginning of the season, and they fired the head coach instead.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, he was on to something because Kevin Smart's taking over the realms now, and they won. And everything switched around. One game, and I don't know if it's going to continue this way, but as of right now, DeMarcus Cousins was looking a little crusty. But now that they've had the head coaching change, maybe we'll see something else.
Dude, that dude's had attitude problems since college.
It would be nice, you're right, if he just came to play.
It came to play. He's got to just come to play. Lamar Odom, like we said, is struggling in Dallas. His numbers across the board are down.
I'm going to tell you what, another player right now who seems like they got a bad fucking attitude is Russell Westbrook. And let me tell you right now, in Oklahoma City, you will leave before Kevin Durant does.
Yeah, and the problem is
sure.
he's not gelling with Kevin Durant, and it's causing some issues.
Now, do you think you could get Rajon Rondo for Westbrook?
Sure, if they could get Rajon Rondo, that would be it. They'd have the West wrapped up.
The thing is,
because to me, Rajon Rondo is probably top 3 true point guard in the NBA.
With those long-ass monkey arms, Shorty?
Yo, he causes
serious
problems.
And Rondo has a totally different game than Westbrook. He's about
he's a
more or less.
facilitator.
Yeah, he facilitates the offense. Westbrook's about. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's more of an Allen Iverson. Yeah, he's gonna put up shots. He's gonna take it to the rim, and he's not gonna defer.
He doesn't score consistently enough to pull that shit off.
Right.
No. You can't play games like he wants to play and not make buckets.
Now, speaking of other PGs, Chris Paul, he's supposed to be like the second coming of Jesus in L.A. Clipperland, because they're definitely not the team in L.A. I'm sorry, not yet.
They just and like the Heat had all new pieces last year. They were gelling toward the end of the season. The Clippers basically have all new pieces. Just give them some
and
time.
They've got talented
let
pieces.
them gel. I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and talk about what they're not doing now because, let's face it, we are definitely in society of what have you done for me lately?
Right.
Let's wait till after the All-Star.
His player efficiency rating is down.
And the thing
6 points from last year.
Adding on to what George said is with Chris Paul, this season was shortened. There was not the preseason workouts.
Right.
There was no training camp. You know, that's a time when you can really develop a rapport with your teammates, especially playing the position he plays.
He does, and he looks a little hesitant right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's based on building a rapport, knowing where guys are going to be, and you know what's going to go on.
Because he's got guys around him who can score, which has got to be strange for him.
They're definitely talented.
Yeah,
he's got guys where he can dump the ball down.
They've got a good squad. I mean, there's a lot of young talent
on paper.
Now let's switch it 180 degrees and talk about the people actually that have impressed us so far.
Ricky Rubio.
Yeah,
I thought he was a lead
in the country.
I thought he was a lead singer from Menudo.
I don't know. He did sing from Menudo, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the other dude.
Oh, it's another one.
I think that was just 10 years ago.
Was it Ricky Rubio?
Yeah.
I can't believe, like Jimmy said, that he's here. He's actually a Minnesota Timberwolf.
And he's balling.
25 years later. He is balling. He's shutting up the critics because, you know what? I was the one going, what's the big deal about Ricky Rubio? And now I'm like, oh, I see. He's pretty good.
But didn't they draft that one point guard from Syracuse as well?
Johnny Flynn. They drafted him in the same thing. I don't know where he is.
That's what happened with him. Now, Kyle Lowry.
Paper plastic? Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
For the Rockets. Lowry.
Theater 7 down there on the left. Yes. Have a good one. That's Harry Potter.
Yes. I mean, that's what happens, man.
Times are tough.
They are. They're tough. Yeah, you gotta, if you gotta work at the theater, you gotta work at the theater.
To quote the famous Latrell Sprewell, I gotta feed my family.
I got to feed my family on 25 of them.
Because $14 million a season wasn't enough.
Yeah. It wasn't.
How many rings you win?
I know. 0. Lowry for the Rockets. Do you know this mug is leading the league in assists right now?
Who's he passing the ball to?
Who is Kyle Lowry?
I think he was. Wasn't he one of the guards from Villanova?
Huh?
I think he was from Villanova.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was.
You know what he did when he wasn't balling at Villanova? Swing through Syracuse. Getting it.
From the cuckold's wife.
Fine.
Anyway,
Bernie.
Ryan Anderson
Wow.
is just turned it on for the Orlando Magic. And that's how we're
poor-
going to wrap it up. Poor forward, shorty. At power. Poor forward.
How do you spell power with no W? P-O-E-R.
That's how you
It's just
say
like
it,
the
shorty.
power at Kevin's house.
Everybody.
out.
Power forward. He's actually their leading scorer. Do you know he's actually putting up more points than Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard does not want to be in Orlando. I don't give a shit what Dwight Howard says. Dwight Howard, just trade Dwight Howard. Get the shit over
Get
with.
the shit over with. You know? Now, you
Oh,
know
but
what
wait,
thought-
David Stern might step in and.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Where I know on it. Where could Dwight Howard get packaged to? They're not going to let him go to the Lakers.
Well, they might. Who knows now? I don't know if the Lakers want to do it.
What
They
about,
they would have to do it with Gasol. But what would they do? They have
Yeah.
two centers?
Give up Westbrook. Give up Westbrook and a draft pick to get Dwight Howard to play with Durant. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Because no one will get him the ball. I don't know.
We're
They're
leaving
talking about the
because we're
Jets.
actually going to end this show because I'm delirious. George is obviously delirious.
Why?
And Jimmy's silent, huh?
How am I delirious? Because I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about basketball?
You actually do, man. I'm
Yes,
proud of
I
you.
know.
George came. He did come correct. I
Because
was
the one
worried.
dude got
I was
on me.
worried. Why?
He
What
told
happened?
me. He told me I had to be either funnier or smarter, and I told him I could do one or the other. And then the other dude came
Well, you're
back
definitely
and
not
said,
going to be smarter.
No
so
shit.
I guess it's funnier.
Well, I wasn't real funny this show anyway.
Well, this is
But-
a serious show.
Yeah.
And then
We
the one
had
dude,
serious
dude
topics.
said, "Well, why don't you be more like the guy to your other side of you?" And I'm like, "Well, you're not funny and smart. You're not funny and smart. So
No.
I don't know who you want me to be like out of these two monkeys, but I'm gonna be me."
Yeah, and I don't know what you're talking. See, you guys don't realize this, that I think everybody at this table's got a little bit of brains and got a little bit of humor. But
Nope.
it's like, you can't do that shit every night.
I can
You want to?
not.